Hello everyone, Jeff from RespawnStudios.com and EasyXbox360Achievements.com here with an LA Noire guide, and this will be the first I'll be doing for this, and I'll be doing a 5-star case guide for every single story mission case in the game. There are a couple missions that start the game which are technically a crime desk, but they don't count as main story missions. They're where you have to shoot the guys at the bank robbery and everything. But the driver's seat is the first actual story mission where you get a rating, because it's the first case on the traffic desk. Alright, one of the main things you're going to want to do is, instead of driving everywhere, come to the passenger side of a car and hold down Y, and you tell your partner to drive. And that way, A, it doesn't take up all the time to drive somewhere. You could do the game much faster. And also, it takes out any possibility of you running into people, destroying any objects or anything. So you would get a bad rating if you, say, accidentally bump into someone with your car, and it would destroy your case rating. So telling your partner to drive eliminates even the possibility of that, so you have a much higher chance of getting 5 stars. Alright, so now we've arrived here at our first crime scene. And I think there are 5 pieces of key evidence. At every crime scene, there's usually double, if not more, pieces of random crap you could pick up that aren't evidence. But you'll know when you have all of the key pieces of evidence, because the music will make its last couple notes and just end. Otherwise, if you still hear the crime scene music, and you'll know what I'm talking about when you play the game. If it's still playing, it means you've missed a key clue. So the first thing is the blood splashes, which you get from just approaching the car, really. Talking to the corner, you could look in the door, but you pretty much automatically get blood splashes. The second major clue here is the receipt for the hog, which you get there in the trunk of the car. And then there are 3 things on the ground around the car. First is the bloody pipe over here to the left of the tracks. And you have to further investigate it by manipulating it with a thumbstick, and then you hit A when the controller vibrates. And you get the InstaHeat logo, which adds it as a clue in your notebook. Then you come over here to the evidence marker A. You're going to need to look at the wallet. You don't have to look at the picture. It doesn't add anything, but if you want, you can. Wife looks crazy, like she's about to kill him or something there. But you tap A on the ID, and that adds the wallet as the piece of evidence to your notebook. And then finally, the glasses case over here. Or the glasses themselves, derp. The glasses case is at the guy's house. So again, you're going to have to manipulate it once you're holding it by using the thumbstick, and when it vibrates, you hit A, and you'll see the Stenzel name. Alright, and I wasn't sure if blood splashes had come up yet, so I investigate here at the first, another evidence marker by the car. You can look around, but nothing important there. And then finally, you come over and have the conversation with Nate Wilkie. I'm not going to show the whole thing. There are 5 options. 4 of them are truth. And then the only one that isn't truth is the contents of wallet. And you doubt that. And then you'll get 5 out of 5 correct. So 4 truths, and the only doubt is for contents of wallet. And then you're going to want to open your notebook. Select the black residence as the next place. And to use the passenger side door tell your partner to drive function, you have to have selected or set your own waypoint. Otherwise, it won't work because the partner doesn't know where to go. But now that you've added that yellow objective flag, you could go to the passenger side and hold down Y. Left in this pretty awesome loading screen. But now here at the black residence, there's going to be an initial conversation cutscene when you knock on the front door. And I think I've cut that out. Alright, so after that initial conversation, come back here to Adrian's room. And they have separate bedrooms. That should be an indication. So his open closet has this train ticket. And you investigate that as a piece of evidence. Back here on the dresser are two. Here's the aforementioned glasses case. And you have to further investigate it to open it and see the name Stenzel.
So the glasses are a match.
And then you're going to want to pick up this photograph. And again, you want to further investigate it by hitting A again, now that you're holding it. And you open up the back and see this concealed message. There we go, new clue. And we are going to have to use that in our conversation with Mrs. Black to prove our first lie, which gets you an achievement. Over here, excuse me, sorry. There are several matchbooks throughout the house, but I just usually pick this one up because it's right here next to other pieces. And you further investigate it to open it up. And it gives you the objective to phone it in to the Research and Information Department, where they look up the address of the bar for you. R&I is it's abbreviated. And almost, well, I don't want to say almost every crime scene, but pretty much half the places you go to in the game have a point where you have to phone something in, so get used to having to look for a phone. They're usually just like a room or two over, if not in the same room. Alright, now you're going to want to come over here to the, dining room. And on the table is our second newspaper. The first newspaper is at the very start of the game when you get to the alley where you have to look for evidence for the lazy-ass detectives. On the right side of the alley is the first newspaper, so this is the second. And the second you hit A to go into the cutscene for the newspapers, you could just back out of them if you've already seen them, so you don't have to watch the whole thing. You don't have to get the newspaper as a key piece of evidence, but it's just part of a collectible that leads to 100%, so I always do that. Here the receipt is a key piece of evidence on the kitchen table, and then next to it is this InstaHeat flyer. It doesn't initially come up as a piece of evidence, so you're going to have to hit A to turn it over and scroll down to the bottom, and then it is added as a clue. So be sure to do that. And then our final piece of evidence at the house. We come out here. You don't have to run around the tree. You could have made that first, right? There's the heater itself, the InstaHeat outside with some broken pipes, and we found that bloody InstaHeat pipe at the scene. So this is our first sort of crime scene puzzle, as they're called. You get an achievement if you successfully finish this, and it's kind of hard not to. It's pretty simple. So you just have to move the pipes once you pick them up and put them in their correct positions. So you're seeing it here. It's not at all difficult. And you'll see that the silver curved piece missing is the one that was at the crime scene.
So the pipe missing from Mr. Black's heater is the
Alright, and that should have done the last little musical notes, which ends the music at the crime scene, letting you know you have all of the important clues. And now you can go back and interrogate Mrs. Black. And again, I'm not going to show the whole conversation because, again, this is a very one-sided thing. There are 6 options here. 5 of them are truth. The only one that isn't truth is, I think that 4th option, whatever is the photograph signed Nicole or message signed Nicole, and she says she doesn't know anything about it. So you select lie, and you go to the concealed message piece of evidence, and then you'll get everything correct. So 5 truths. The photograph signed Nicole is a lie, and you select concealed message. And then we set our final, or next to final location, Kavanaugh's Bar. And again, just go to the passenger seat, have your partner drive. And now this is at the bar itself. You don't have to talk to the bartender, but he tells you Frank Morgan, the guy you need to talk to, is at the back. So you come back here and speak to him.
No, I hadn't heard that.
The only option to begin is this link to abandoned vehicle, and you're going to select lie. He says he doesn't know anything about it. So you select lie and go to the receipt for live hog, which was signed by him.
You're lying, Morgan. You were there. And you're talking out your ass, detective. How about you prove I was out at that rail yard?
So here's our list of evidence.
You were there, Morgan. We found a receipt in the trunk of the car. It has your name on it. We can call the slaughter yard and nail you.
So now you're calling him out on it, and you're going to get your second dialogue option.
Falling for some dame in Seattle. He wanted me to make it look like he'd been attacked. Where
Location of
exactly
Adrian
is Black?
Black.
No idea. I think he took off for Seattle.
He says he thinks he already went to Seattle to be with the person he's having the affair with, but you select doubt because he's obviously looking untruthful. And he tells you he's holding out in his apartment, and that will be your final location. So once you get out of this conversation, you could choose whether or not you want to arrest him, which has no bearing on getting 5 stars, but choose whatever you want. I always choose to arrest him because he's a dick. But then you're going to want to open up your notebook last time and select the final location, which is that apartment building. And then once more, have your partner drive just to avoid any possible damages. Hitting people like really decimates your rating. So even if you're trying to get out of the way of like a crazy AI driver, you might accidentally hit a pedestrian. So I always err on the side of caution and just tell my partner to drive. Here's our badass loading screen. I apparently left it in once again. Alright, and another weird note. There's tons of apartment buildings you have to go throughout the game, and almost every single time the apartment you have to go to is apartment 2. It's just kind of weird. It's like never 1, never 3, or like 17. It's almost always 2, which is just strange. Alright, so there's a little cutscene where he slams the door in your face, starts to run away, so you kick it open and start chasing him. Your partner has gone out to the car, and he's going to try and cut him off at the alley. Not really sure how he knew he was going to be there, but that's what he's doing. And there isn't really a way to fail this. Your partner's always going to be there to cut him off, so you just run over. And that ends the first case, the driver's seat. And if you followed all those dialogue choices and those clues, you'll get a perfect 5-star rating, no damage. Alright, hope that helped. Hope you enjoyed. I'll be back with more soon. Thanks for watching.